Hey y'all, what's up? I hope everyone is having a great day. Just got done putting my son to bed. So what time is it? 10:11. Halloween Havoc had just went off. I actually caught the whole thing. It was pretty good. I loved it. Um, just based off of I didn't even watch Halloween Havoc last year. The year before I caught bits and pieces. I will say this is the best one. Then I love the fact that they treat it like an NBA game. Y'all know I'm a big fan of basketball for those who have been watching me for a while. And I love the fact that the hosts are hosting, if that makes sense. Like in the past PLEs we had, the one in NxT when we had with Sexy Red just come out that one time. And then they had her host something. And then the Bad Blood one where we had the big three. And I love the girls. Y'all know I'm here for the girls. Hosting. It wasn't really hosting. And I was like, if they gonna just do this, we might as well not even have a host. Just have someone come in, say, get the crowd going, hey, how's everyone feeling out there? Whatever. And then just start, say whatever they gotta say, and that's it. But like Busted Radio were the hosts, and Bully or Bubba. I don't know if you watch him from TNA and call him Bully, or if you watch him from WWE and call him Bubba. So on my tweets, I was putting Bully/Bubba because I don't know. But they were amazing hosts. That is what you're supposed to do when you host. Okay, and I said, like, I feel like it's an NBA game because in between certain matches, they gave us their commentary and their opinions. They didn't have what is true. Why are LJ screeching at my pocket? Sorry. They didn't have another commentator coming up asking them questions. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a host and I have another commentator asking me questions during the second wave where I'm supposed to be hosting, what's the point of me hosting? And that was the problem I had with Bad Blood. Because I was like, y'all got, I think Jackie? Y'all got Jackie there asking the girls questions. Why the girls not asking questions? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it worked better with Busted Radio because not only have they been in the wrestling field, whether they were managers or worked in backstage of production, or they were superstars, or they were refs, or whatever. They have the experience, so they know what questions to ask, and then they got the podcast where they can give their opinion. So it's much better, much better. Like I love that. Is my favorite thing that NxT had tonight. That main roster does not have. You know what else that I love that about this PLE is the fact that in between matches we had real life promos. If that's what if that makes sense. Like WWE and Raw, like Raw and SmackDown, they had their PLEs. The main roster has their PLEs. They might have a couple promos, or they may have some pre-tape ones that we've seen, and they may be like earlier this week, and they'll show something that we've already seen, which is cool. You know what I'm saying, for the people that haven't seen it. But I love the fact that they have promos in between, and not only promos, they're good promos. They're decent promos. So it's like a step up from watching NxT on Tuesday, which is what a PLE should be. But the promos are really, really good. Okay? Like that mixed in with the breaks in between the commentary, getting ready or set up for like another match. I don't know if it's because they had to get set up for certain matches. If that was the case, that good. They did a really good job. If it's not, and that's just the new normal, keep it that way. If it's not the new normal, make it that way. Okay? Like, I loved it. That was like those two things. The one thing I will say that the main roster has that NxT doesn't have is the press conference. But at the same time, I can do without the press conference for NxT only because sometimes with the press conferences with the main roster, it's like y'all guys ask the same questions that y'all ask every PL after every PLE, or y'all will have them on a radio podcast or something like that, and do all your research and look at these other people's podcasts along with yours and read all yours and still ask the same questions. Like, why are you there? So you're getting paid basically to report the same thing that someone else already got the scoop on. Like, what? If I'm gonna do that, I might as well just stay at home and just look at the other articles and come out with mine later on the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. And that's why I like podcasts that are out the norm. Like me, I'm not a podcaster. I just share my opinion. But, like, I would ask questions that have to do with WWE, but I wouldn't care. Outside of, like, the matches, like, my questions would be about hair, gear. Because y'all know I always talk about the hair, the gear. My question would be about, like, the interest or their production. And then, like, maybe the inspiration towards it or something like that. And then, like, it's a typical question, but it doesn't get asked a lot, like, or it hasn't got asked in a while that I've heard. Like, what prepares you for this? Do you listen to a certain song or play a game before this? Do you have to eat before this? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people have stomach issues, they have to go to the bathroom before something major. Some people, like, want to calm their nerves and read. Some people pray. Some people listen to certain songs. Some people want to play maybe like spades or Fortnite or something like that. Like, what do you do before? What do you do after? You know what I'm saying? And who was the first person you call? And do they always answer the phone? Like, questions like that. Because I know for me, most of the time, my mama and my sister answer. My other sister and my brother don't answer. Like, I have to contact my sister-in-law to get in contact with my brother. I just grouped them in a double chat, like him and her, and she always responds. He rarely responds, but like, and my other sister only calls me when she wants something. So, like, do they call depending on what time of day or night is, or do they ignore your call? Like, do you gotta call them back? Like, questions like that. Like, ask regular questions like, oh, so what did you think about the match tonight between, like, don't nobody want to hear that. We seen y'all put on a hell of a show. We don't need to know what you thought about it. No shade. No shade. Because if it was me and I was in a game for so many years and I've been doing some odd PLEs and stuff like that, like, I don't want to keep answering the same question all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I felt how Roman did. What was that PLE? Not the one where he kicked the girl out, but the one where he was like, I'm very tired. Basically, y'all ask questions like, make it quick or make it good. And then they asked him a question and he was like, that's your question? Like, that would have been me. Like, outside of his health, and that's the main thing I'd be interested in. Like, how is your health? And I know he probably gets tired of hearing that because he made it so vocal, and we don't know if the other, like, superstars are dealing with health outside of maybe, like, physical issues dealing with their body. But, like, that's a concern. Not just because it's not just because you announced it and stuff like that, but because now it's like you about to enter in the PLE, or 9 times out of 10, like, Survivor Series. And even though it's in Vancouver, it's cold season. Like, people are getting respiratory infections, COVID's coming back around, flu, pneumonia, RSV, strep throat, bronchitis, and then you're out in the open. And yeah, you might test negative for COVID, but you might catch something else, and then your immune system is lower or compromised because you deal with what you deal with, and it's remedial. Like, how is your, you know what I'm saying? So, like, other than, like, stuff like that, like, I wouldn't care about the matches. Like, I would have my manager answer. Like, I would have a Paul Heyman. But the first match was Tony DeAngelo and Oba Femi, and I had tweeted, I said, and I was looking at a predictions thing on Ringside Society, shout out to them, and I answered in the chat, and I was like, I think that Oba Femi is going to lose. I said, I think he's going to lose. I don't think Tony is going to lose the North American Championship that quick. I said, and I think the family's going to get involved. And I was like, and I don't think that NXT North American Championship is for him. Meaning that because of the popularity he gets and his stature and all that, not only will he probably develop that faction with the other two guys in Nikita Lyons, in a love story probably with him and Nikita Lyons, but I feel like he's going to go after the NXT title next. Like he's done the North American title thing. He was a great champion. You know what I'm saying? That match was good. Like, and Mike Romero, how you say? I think I call him Mike Rome, with the Beetlejuice costume. Okay, you did that. Okay, I don't makeup did the green around. I need to figure out what that green is because I low-key wanted to be Shigo for Halloween. And you know her face is green and then her lip is black, but I digress. But like I loved it. So they introduced Uma and then Tony came out and then he was like, yeah, we know. And then just start stealing off. And I was like, what is happening? So then he's still off. He slams Uma through the barricade off rip. I said, God dang. Like, this is one of the matches I was looking forward to. I like Oba Femi. I like Tony DeAngelo. I found out about him and Trick and JC Jane and Wesley and all them on React channel. Because I watch React almost every day. I've been watching React almost every day since, I think, the pandemic. So it's been keeping my mind like, but so like Tony's one of my faves. Tony's one of my favorites. Excuse me. He came out and he did that. Tony, and you know what's so crazy? So Uma came out and he brought the ladders up because you know it's a tables, ladders, and scares match. And I didn't see that Bully and Bo was going to that Busted Radio was going to host it because I don't watch pre-shows. Like everything that they show in the pre-show, I've either saw while I was watching it live on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or I caught it on YouTube. So I don't watch the pre-show. I feel like it's boring. I thought it started at 6, the actual matches. I come home from Food Line and it's the pre-show and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm coming back. So I had to Google, like, what time does the match start? And then just like NXT on CP time, because they started 5 minutes late. I thought it was going to start at 7 and like the lights was going on. Like they was going to drop what's in that music or at least show the logo and all that. So, yeah, Uma come out and with the ladder and stuff. The audience, we want tables. I said, I don't know what it is about a TLC match. Okay. And I saw the first one on pay-per-view live. My mom, we had to beg, the 4 of us had to beg my mama to spend, well, how much was it back then? $24.99 to get it. And we taped it. I don't know what the hell that tape is. I wish I had it because I know it would have been good to look back on. But, so I watched the original, okay? And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the Dudleys made the tables a thing since ECW and they come in there and doing the TLC match with Christian and Edge and Hardy Boys, or the table is more familiar because it's more accessible. You know what I'm saying? It's a step up from the chairs. Like, you can hit anybody with a chair. Anybody can hit anybody with a chair, I feel like. So that's like level 1. Level 2 is like, I feel like, but the most common is the table because it takes strength to lift somebody and put them through a table, but you don't have to be all that skilled. I feel like with the ladders, if you're not Hardy's, Lita, Io Sky, maybe like Tiffany or Kelani, Dagon Ricochet, Ivar, then ladder ain't your zhuzh, because you got to be a spectacular type of acrobat to do the ladder thing justice, okay? So I feel like the table is the thing, and I'm like, he got ladders out. I think he ended up putting Tony through a table, if I'm not mistaken. And then he put, Uma got put through. No, when Uma came out from the barricade, he hit Tony with the chair. Because I was like, Uma been down there for a while. I was like, but he got hit hard as hell. Okay. So then he ended up putting, I think Tony ended up, yeah, so then things escalated. The match kept going. So then, like I predicted, the family came out and tried to help. Then homegirl, I don't know her name, from the family, I forgot her name. She comes out and she's the only female woman there. So I was like, it'd be funny if Nikita came out to help. I said that would be like a twist. But she's coming out. She gets a crowbar. This is before then. They zip tied Tony. He zip ties Tony. And I said, not zip ties. Like, how do you get out of that? She walks towards her. She's got his crowbar. He grabs the crowbar. Tony's like, leave her alone. Starks and Luca are out, okay? They want to crowd out of it. Sorry. And they on the ground out of it. And as soon as Uber got closer to her, Tony ripped from the zip ties and put Uber through a table. First the hell of all, okay? To rip through some zip ties, I know his wrist hurt. Okay? You know how hard it is to get through a zip tie? It's only 2 ways to get through a zip tie. And you gotta either, the little part that zips up, you gotta move it back to slide it, the thing through. That's only 2 ways I know how to do it. Or you gotta cut it off. So for him to rip, like, how strong? And then I'm like, second of all, and I was like, I know homeboy Vaquer from that. Like, that thing was hard. It felt like his whole spine done left his body. Okay? Or did I say that with, I think I said that when Tony did it. No, I said that when Uma did it to Tony with the ladder in the corner. I said it sounded like his whole spine and left his body. But with all of that being said, Tony ended up retaining. Just like I said, that was a good start of a match. Then the next match was the tag team match. Man, that was the match I was looking forward to. I'm here for the girls. Okay. First of all, Cora came out first. I was like, her gear's cute. And Roxanne came out, the Prodigy. She's one of my favorites too. So I was like, look at CM Punk and AJ Lee girls. The running joke on the internet. And then for wrestling fans, I was like, I like both of their gears, but I'm like, I like Cora's a little better. And I got the matching hair, whatever. Then Stephanie comes out with El Dia de Muerto face paint in the headgear. And for those that don't know, that's the Day of the Dead. That's when they celebrate. They celebrate, I think, around this time, like right before Halloween. Their lost loved ones and stuff like that. They have food and a party and all that. It's a big thing in Mexico and certain other Hispanic countries. So I was like, she looked good, so good. I don't know if she did her own makeup or someone else did it, but they did a phenomenal job. Then Giuliana comes out, and she's already pretty. And she comes out with the fur. So I say, is the fur a thing they do in Japan for the girls? I'm like, Io comes out with the fur on her gear, okay? And then Kyrie and Oscar come out with the fur jacket. So I'm like, fur must be the thing over there. Like, I don't know. I don't know what kind of fur it is either. I ain't asking. But that match was really, really, really good. And a lot of people were like, myself included, like, we've never seen Stephanie wrestle before. But she's awesome. Like, her moveset is awesome. And I predicted that Stephanie and Giuliana were going to win. And I said they were going to win only because You got someone that came from Japan Wrestling. They beast over there. Okay? Giuliana's a beast over there. And someone that came from Lucha Wrestling. They beast down there too now. And you put them together. Can you imagine if they were an actual tag team and they mixed the two styles together? Bruh, they would be undefeated for life. Like, nobody can tell me otherwise. And to me, those two are the most cutthroat locations when it comes to wrestling. I'm not saying that people don't wrestle well in like Germany and Australia and Europe and stuff like that. But them people in Japan that go to wrestle in Japan and the people that go wrestle in Mexico, they different now. They different. Okay? And the girls improved that. Okay? And my prediction was not only was Stephanie and Giulia were going to win, I thought that Cora Jade was going to turn on Roxanne. And the prediction, someone else said that Roxanne was probably going to turn on Cora, just like how Bailey did with Sasha Banks. But that didn't even happen. So, but after the match, Zarian came out. And because I was like, who the hell is that? Like, I didn't know who it was. I didn't know that they already knew her name. I low-key thought it was Jordan. And she just put makeup on her face because it was Halloween, Havoc. And she changed her name or something like that. Like, I low-key, that's what I thought. I was wrong. Because I remember they was like, we got somebody from Australia. But I was like, who the hell? And the lights went off and they showed her. And she was at the corner. And Cora and Stephanie looked like, not Stephanie. Cora, Roxanne looked like, okay. All right. And I know Booker T got some, like, his mentees are there, like, Roxanne and Trick and stuff like that. So I know he's partial a little bit to both of them. Like I said, I like the promo. So they showed a promo of Javon and said, and he kept calling him Unc. And I said, how old is Javon to be calling him Unc? Because I felt some type of way. Okay? I felt some type of way because even though I look a certain age, okay, I'm about the same age as Cedric. Okay? So I'm like, how old is this boy? Like, he and it was like 1920. I said, okay. Like, my whole moveset changed because I'm like, I'm in my 30s. Okay? Late 30s. Somebody calling me, like, that's weird to me. I don't know. I guess in my mind, sometimes in my mind, I'd be like, I'm still in my 20s. Stuff like that. But then sometimes my body be like, no, but you not. Like, your hips were hurting the other day after your workout. You ain't stretching good enough. Like, no. Okay. So I need to get a roll-up thing. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about that, I'm about to go on Amazon after this video. But yeah, so I was like, what? And then they was like, he like 1920. He just real good for his age, real humble. And I said, I know that part. I just want to know his age. Because I'm like, him calling him on. And I'm like, and said, man, I'm cool with it. Like, but Tuesday, them against Fraction, Nazen Frazier, and Axiom is going to be good. Her promo was good. So then after that, it was... So after they showed them two, I was like, well, if they show Kelani and Kalani's match, I ain't really got to watch it. Because I was looking forward to them two. And then I wanted to see Kalani's match because I like her. But then they showed Andre Chase and Ridge. And I forgot about that match. And I was looking forward to that match too. Low key. Because I forgot. And I watched NxT on Tuesday. And still forgot. And my prediction was Ridge was going to win. Because people was like, oh, Chase is back. So Ridge came out. His interest is so dope to me. He came out, they showed him, and it looked like as soon as he breathed, like the smoke from around comes out. And I was like, I don't know who hit the button on that, but good job, production. Okay. And then, Because I was like, his entrance looks like the end of a rock video, like a rock music video. Comes out with the little vest, comes out with the mask. I'm like, everybody got masks now. You know what I'm saying? Like back, like certain people you expect to have masks on. It's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Great Muda, or like if any of the girls from Damage Control wore one, like okay, it's cultural. If Stephanie wore one, Roxanne wore one, Raquel wore one, Ray, Dominic, it's cultural. You know what I'm saying? Like if Uma wears one, it's cultural because Nigerian, depending on the tribe, they wear certain masks and stuff like they have certain tattoos. They have certain, you know what I'm saying? So like to see like Ridge come out with one, or like the last PLE, I think Cody had one. Like it's a little, it be throwing me off sometimes. Or like when Edge had one, even though his was dope though, that little silver jump one he had with I think it had spikes or something. But I'm like, I know it's part of your art, but I'm like, it is not expected. That's what it is. It's not expected. I forgot who. I don't know who he was supposed to be, so I didn't get a close up. So then Andre comes out, and he comes out in Freddy Krueger jump. And I was like, he should have did a promo. They should have showed him doing a promo before this and was like, I'm gonna beat you so bad, like put you in an ambulance or something like that, that you gonna dream that you'll have dreams about me, you know, because Freddy Krueger comes in your dreams or nightmares. And I was like, say something like that. And I was like, I'm like joking, but that match, I forgot about that match. And honestly, I was anticipating that match the most only because Andre had came back. Rich Holland had left main roster to come to NXT. And you know what I love about NXT is when the people leave main roster and come to NXT, they immediately get on TV and they have storylines. Like I was pushing for Cedric and Ashante. The Adonis, they're on TV. Reg is on TV. Butch does both. He's on TV. I think the OC does both. They brought Baron and Apollo back up. I don't even think they was using Apollo like that in NXT. But Baron, I think, had a better run in NXT than SmackDown because only at the beginning of the draft, after the beginning of the draft, we saw him for like 3-4 times. And then we ain't seen him no more. Like, we even seen Apollo do a couple of solo matches against Giovanni, but we ain't seen Corbin no more. So now unless he let go, he's just in the back, like how Candace was for a while. Then I don't know. Yeah, so that match was really, 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 really good. I'm trying to think because y'all know at this time of night sleep kicks in. So, I need to take this jacket off too because I ain't going nowhere else. So, trying to think. I just remember the match was being really good because now it's like a haze of what's going on. And my thought was, but you know, my thought was when it says whoever puts somebody in the hospital, the ambulance first wins. My thought was Attitude Era, like y'all gonna beat each other so bad that somebody gonna need to go to the hospital, kind of like how Darby Allin has to do after every PLE because he just goes to the extreme. Something like that. Not like an old school ambulance that looks like a hearse and whoever slams the door wins, like a dumpster match. Like I didn't know it was like dumpster match equivalent. I thought it was like physical hospital. I can't really comment on it. I just remember because I was so zoomed in, and I also remember the cameras because I was like, they showed Dave and Bully Ray, and I was like, they look like he looks great. And then they showed this match, and I said, this is the first match, so it looked like it's in 4K. And I said, well, maybe it's my TV, but I was like, I've been watching, I haven't changed the channels, nothing's been going on my internet, but this is the first one that seemed clear. After that one, after the match with Chase and Ridge, all the matches look like they were in 4K. I'm about to get some money. My hand keep itching. um, yeah, all of them seemed like they were in 4K, and I'm trying to think because I'm like, I could remember Booker calling Chase a con man. Because Vic was trying to say, like, Ridge came over and tried to fake like they was family. And he used them. And Homegirl is upset and mad. And he could have, and Book was like, but don't you got to pay to be and chase you? And he was like, yeah. He was like, why you got to pay to be and chase you? Like, basically, like, we at NXT, like, this man is a con man. And I was like, not a con man. And that's all I can remember. Like, I have to go watch it. I was just like literally like this the whole time, like, and tweeting and like this and tweeting. Because I was like, and I remember the big pop for when he picked up the pumpkin. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah. And I remember, I think I went outside to go call my son in. I think that's probably why I don't remember some of this match. I just remember I came back and I think Ridge had lifted up the padding from the floor. And I said, what the hell is happening? Oh, speaking of matches, I thought Cora, because she just came back, was going to do a moonsault at one point in time. And she did some trust fall move. And I said, what the hell? and then she got and was like, jumped on, was it Giulia or was it Steph? And she jumped and did it. And she was like a little hesitant a little bit because I know things are scary because she's just come back. She still got the knee brace on and stuff like that. So I understand that. This is a person that had knee problems. But you got to trust the work that you put in. You got to trust that the physical therapist is like, if they tell you you've been doing the work that it's 100% and that you're clear to go, you got to trust that it's 100%. I know people try to be cautious, and it makes you more aware and more cautious because you're like, okay, I just came back. My knee is 100%. And I don't want to be out again from another injury. But also being too cautious is what gets you back in injuries. That's what they used to tell us first day of driver's ed. I'll never forget that in high school. They said driving too defensively is what causes accidents. If you're always scared or always driving like this, like tensed up, or always trying to do like that, and you know everybody around you don't drive like that, that's how you get in accidents. Like, but, and then I don't know what kind of twist moonsault flip Stephanie did. I was like, that move was crazy. Okay, I'll go back. So I think Ridge tried to do it on Chase, and then Chase ended up doing it on Ridge on the concrete. And I said, if his spine not broke, I said he definitely got a concussion. I said, because that is, and then he started beating him like towards the announcement table, and he was like this, and I said, that man could barely stand. So when he got into the ambulance, I thought he was done for, and then he didn't close. He couldn't close it. So something had happened, and I don't even know how Andre got into the daggone ambulance, but he ended up losing. So you know that gives Ridge even bigger reason to be more of a heel. Then after that, it was 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to think, what was the other one? Oh no, it was only 5. So I'm like, it's another one. Okay, so then after that, it was Kelani versus Fatal Influence, and through it, but she told them that they were going to fight all. She was going to fight all of them through the gauntlet match. So Kelani comes out looking like Poison Ivy, which was cute, and then she fought Jasmine Nix first, who is pretty. I don't know what she was, or what she was trying to be, or maybe she was a devil or something like that. And she came out. I think it was her first PLE debut, and she did her thing, but not quite. My prediction was Kelani was going to win because that was my girl. And I was like, I don't know if they will let her give up the title that easy. But I was like, we got to have at least one title change. And so far, it's either going to be her or Trick, which I didn't even think logically until just now. So I thought she was going to retain. But then the other side of me was like, but Fatal Flu Influence is going to be all of them. And Kelani ain't got no backup. So what do we do? You know what I'm saying? So she ended up beating Jasmine. So then JC Jane comes out and they go at it. Kelani still got, left in the tank. I think Booker was going for JC. And they were talking about how Jasmine is doing so well. And so he was like, she listens to the seniors in the locker rooms and stuff like that. He was like, unlike Kelani, who just does her own thing. I was like, I wonder if Mello is there. Like, if he's there, I don't know if he's going to be on Raw or not. If he's not going to be on Raw, he's probably at the house. But I was like, I wonder if he's there, like, physically watching her in Pennsylvania, if he came along or if he's at the crib. I don't know. I think if it was me and my significant other and I went to main roster or they went to main roster and they had a PLE or we had a PLE and I didn't have to be to my job for like another week or another couple of days, I'm coming to the PLE. Like, I want to be there to see it live and I want to be there to support, physically be there. But that's just me though. Like, I'll show up. Like, if I got the time, I'm showing up. I've never missed a game of my son's had. I've never, if my nieces have recitals or something like that, talent shows, I'm coming. Or graduations, if my nephew has a game, I'm coming. Like, I show up. So, like, for me, it's normal. Like, so, like, I would have came. I know he tweeted, but I don't know if he was there because they didn't show him in the audience. Which is a good thing, too. Because if they did have, like how main roster, they'd be like, we got such and such in the audience live tonight. Da, 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 people clap. Like, NxT was so well, this PLE was so well put together that even if we had people in the audience, we wouldn't have cared. Like, and that's no shade. No shade. Like, because between, like I said, between the matches and then the commentary between the matches and then the hosting and then the PLEs in between the matches, first of all, they probably wouldn't have had time to flash like who was there in the segments of ball. Like I said, the audience wouldn't have cared. You wouldn't have cared. So, well, I wouldn't have. But so she beat JC. Now she beat JC. JC, I think, elbowed her or something like that. Got mad, and they was like, ref, and he was like, well, the match over with. So then Fallon comes out, which Fallon had the best gear to meet out of the three. And out of the three people at Fatal Influence. And they're fighting. Kelani's picking and choosing her moves because this is the third match. Well, all the girls are fresh. So in part of the match, I think Jasmine tried to distract the refs or something like that. While JC does something and she like kicks her. Oh no, Jasmine tried to, I think JC does something and Jasmine tries to do something. And then Jasmine says something and then she kicks her and like Fallon has her knees up eventually. And they're messing with the refs and and then she ends up losing her title. And I was like, it's okay, girl. I said, first of all, the numbers were against you. Second of all, whether you get another title later down the line or never get a title, you will always be solidified in the history books as the inaugural NxT Women's USA champion. Even if they decide later on down the line to get rid of the mid-card title, you still gonna be in the books. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, winning it second is cool, Fallon. I think she's one of 6 women contenders to get it too. Winning it second is cool, but it ain't the first. This was like, you will be the first. Okay? The first. But I'm proud, I'm proud of her. She did her thing. And that was one of the matches that I was looking forward to. Low key didn't deliver like I thought it was going to. And that's just my opinion. But then the lights went out. Zarya came out, and then Zarya attacked Fatal Influence after Kelani left the audience. Then they showed. Then they went back to Busted Radio. The guys that that's hosting Halloween Havoc, and they're talking about Ridge and Chase, and then Ridge comes out of the blue talking trash. Well, it moves like, this is the second time I done told you, okay? And someone's like, get us Ridge versus Bubba at 2300 ECU. And I was like, y'all really think that we gonna have an NXT event and not have, I don't know if RVD is part of AEW still, or if that was like a one-time thing. Not have like RVD or have the Dudley Boys or have Paul Heyman there. Like, y'all really think we not gonna have all 3 of them, 2 of the 3 of them, or at least 1 of the 3 of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ECW. Okay? They love having stuff in Pennsylvania too. Because before that, I think Trick on his Twitter had put that he visited the Hershey Center, and I was low-key jealous, because I'm like, I got family in Pennsylvania. My nana is in Pittsburgh. My cousins in Philly. And I was like, and I've been to Lancaster to go shopping. Never been to Hershey. Never been to the theme park or to go just eat their chocolate. I think they got like is it Utz or is it Hertz chips that are made Pennsylvania? But I really need to go to Mexico, because I found out by reading the label that Mexico make annihilators, and that's where I want to go. I'm a sweet tooth girly. I don't really like milk chocolate if it doesn't have nothing with it. I can eat dark chocolate plain by itself all day. But milk chocolate, it gotta have raisins or caramel or nutmeg or almonds or something. Like, I can't do plain milk chocolate. I just, I can't do peanut butter, something. It gotta have something. Okay. Then the last match was Ethan versus Trick. And I wasn't really anticipating this match. It wasn't on my card. Only because, even though I'm the one with Fatal Influence and stuff was, only because, 1, I'm here for the girls. Y'all know that. And 2, I'm like, we've seen this match. How much of a, and my brain was like, how much of a dog can Trick be in this match that's going to make it different than from the last match they had? That was really my thought. And I was like, I like Trick. Like, Trick made the whole diss track. I love lately that every time he faces an opponent, he makes a diss track. This is the second time he done faced Ethan and made 2 different diss tracks. He done made one for Butch. I was like, he done used Kirk Franklin's Resolution for this track. Had Devon Dudley as as Reverend Devon at the beginning of this track. Like, it was a thing. So, they come out. I don't even know what they had on. I just saw purple with gold, so I thought it was Lakers. I didn't realize until later that it was, it's 10:55. Yep. I didn't know till later that he was dressed as Wonka, because I was trying to figure out what it was, but I had left the room again and stuff, because when I came back, he was at the top of the ring. I didn't even see Ethan come in. He's at the top of the ring and doing the whoop, that like the thing. So I was like, okay. So the match started off. I was getting, what was I doing? I was upstairs trying to get my son together to get him ready to go to bed. So the thing I saw at first was both Ethan was holding up a pumpkin, and then Trick was holding up a pumpkin. And then after that, I came back, they was in the audience fighting each other. And then Trick got hit in the back with the trash can that looked like the one that looked like Oscar the Grouch living. And Ethan got slammed on the same trash can, because I was like, I know that's not hurt. I was like, I know it hurt because you could hear him yelling, ah, like that. And then I was like, and then Ethan got slammed on the same trash can. So then they go get back to the ring. I'm going to say ring. I think Trick got put through a table. Did he? The Trick, I think, got put through an announcement table. And somehow the steps ended up in the ring. I don't know how. I'm trying to think. Was it... Because I think I'm mixing matches up. I was going to say, I think Ethan got slammed on the steel steps. But I think that might have been Holland that got slammed on the steel steps. One of them two got slammed on the steel steps. I can't remember. I just remember from this match that, because I was like, that Trick got hit with the steps. And then they showed him his mouth was bleeding. And I said, is his mouth bleeding because he has eternal, this before he got put through the announcement table. Because I was like, this is mouth bleeding because he got internal bleeding from like his ribs and stuff, or is because he bit his tongue? And as soon as you could see the blood from his mouth, Ethan did this little smirk, like, yeah, I got him to bleed. And I was like, and then he put him through the table. And as soon as he put him through the table, I said, that's it. That's it right there. The paramedics had to come out. The ref had to come out. The ref was going to call it off. Okay? And my prediction was, and I love Trick, that Ethan was going to win this. But then when I was on the response to somebody on a prediction show, or me on the prediction show that I was watching, was like, he don't think, if Uma was next to go against for the NxT title, well, West, I think, has been hollering to do it too. But they won't have heel versus heel like Uma and Ethan. Now unless they make Ethan a face. First of all, I didn't even know Oba Femi was a heel. Because between him and Tony DeAngelo, you low-key could say both of them are heels. Or anti-hero, where one is like in between a heel or a face. Like they're supposed to be heels, but the audience loves them so much that they're not really heels. Kind of like how Rhea was. Like she's supposed to be a heel, but every time she came out, the audience cheered. And the Usos were eventually. Yeah, that's exactly how the Judgment Day and the Bloodline are. Like, they're supposed to be heels, but people love them. So they're more like anti-heroes. So, yeah, he was happy to see his blood. Like, they was like, we gonna call it. And Trick was like, nah. Got in the ring, befuddled. You hear me? He looked like he didn't know what the hell was going on. I think he picked up the steps and about to hit. Ethan low blowed him. And then he dropped it. And then Ethan was going to pick something up or pick him up. And then Trick got his and low blowed him. But the part that caught me was when he was halfway out of it, Ethan was like, he's okay. Like, let me continue to fight him so I can beat his ass. I was like, dang, okay. So, he low blowed him. Trick ended up winning. And I said, I like this match because Trick's been in some matches now. But now because he's become one of the major stars in NXT, he has to have that grit to him that's going to bring him over to the main roster. And like, this is probably the toughest match he's had. And I like that. It brings out that dog in him. Because if you're ever wondering, oh, we want to put Trick on the main roster, but we don't know if he can handle such. This will be one of the matches to be like, that could prove that he can handle that type of thing. Another thing is when he was interacting, when he was half out of it on the chair, I said, he probably reevaluating his life. Like, I should have stayed playing football. Because that would have been me. I'd have like sitting there half unconscious, like, I love this. But if I got to do this for you, I don't know. It's got to be the adrenaline for him to get up. And then when he got up, after that, his music and stuff went off. I left for a second, came back. Ethan was beating him up. And then Ridge, I was like, when did Ridge Holland get in the ring? So, he was beating him. I said, somebody help Trick. I said, ain't nobody can help Trick. Nobody's here. And then Bubba Ray comes down. And he's like, I told you. You had 2 more times. You had 2 times already. I told you. And then Trick was like, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. He was like, that's it. And I said, give me Ethan and Ridge versus Bubba and Trick at 2,300. If this is the next PLE, give me that. Okay? Tag team match. Let's do it. And I don't know, a tables match, because that's Bubba's thing. And since it ain't no title on the line, how far out is that? 3 weeks? It gives both of them enough time to heal, all 3 of them, and we could do this. But overall, good PLE. It surprised me. Surprised me very, very much, because just the thought of last year, and it wasn't even the fact, it's not even the fact that it's in a different location, it's just the aura in general. Because like, we know, like, no shade to them, like Scarlett and Shotzi are queens of like Halloween. They love dressing up and they have the tattoos and stuff like that. But I was like, it didn't give it that oomph that it needed this year, that it had this year. And then last year's 2022, the year before last, was decent. But I didn't know enough people then. So for me, it was just only, and like I said, I was only watching because Solo was on there, and then Solo had got put on the main roster by October. So after like a couple more weeks of that, I stopped really watching NXT again. Like, I knew who like Trick and all that. I'm like, who Carmelo and like the main people like that were, Grayson and stuff like that. But like, that's it. I ain't really know nobody else. But I can't wait to see what Tuesday's gonna hold you down. Oh, then before that, they were showing like the set and stuff. And before Trick in the match, Tatum come out the casket. It scared the hell out of Booker T. And before that, I'm like, where did Vic get that vest? I'm like, that vest look like it's skeleton pumpkins. Like, he got that custom made somewhere. But he scared the hell out of her. And she was like, I want to have a match on Tuesday. And Abel was like, yeah. She started spinning the wheel. And I was like, is she trying to do a short match right now? And she was like, a casket match. And she was like, when's Wendy? I said, she was like, yeah, a casket match. And I was like, oh, that's going to be interesting. And then I was like, please, if they have not wrestled before, even if they have wrestled before, it's been a while, give me Tatum versus Nikki Cross, please. Like when did True try to do her little scary thing, and her homegirl that was partnering with her tried to do her little scary thing. But I'm like, Tatum crazy as hell. That's a different type of Tatum crazy as hell. And I was like, and so is Nikki. Like, give me that match. Give me that match, please. Second of all, I also remembered, was it Trick? Yeah. I think Ethan had brought out, and I was like, what is that, tax in the ring? Like tax. And I was like, I ain't seen that since Vengeance Day. When Dijak had a fight. What's his name in Wyatt 6? And I was like, he could be a modern day Mick Foley because he crazy as hell. But I ain't seen that since then. And I was like, if he gets slammed on that attack, that's it. That's going in their back. And I was like, it's gonna hurt going in his back because I was like, after a while you get used to it, but pulling him out is gonna hurt worse. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen on Tuesday. Monday, I know they're taping 2 shows for the live one, and then they're taping one for next Monday because they'll be in Europe. So hopefully it smooths over well, because I know they did next Friday's, along with this Friday's last Friday, and then this Monday they're doing Monday live, and then they're shooting for next Monday. So hopefully it overlaps well, and the superstars give us what they need to give us. I feel like when it goes to pre-tapings like that, like I would enjoy matches and stuff like that, because you really, not unless certain things overlap, like when Rhea and them came to Raw, or Jade came to SmackDown, stuff like that. Like you can tape back to back and catch up and understand it. But when stuff like that overlaps before PLE, you'll be confused. So if I was there live, I'd probably be like, I still would need to see this on TV to see how it comes together. But can't wait for next week. I'm about to get ready to go to bed because it is 11:07. It's past my bed unwind time. I normally wind down at 10:30. Get myself settled so I can be asleep by like 11:30. So I hope you all have a great Monday. If you guys have to work or go to school or whatever, just enjoy your day. And I hope to see you soon. And thanks for watching my video. Bye.